All right, we're live. What's up, man?
Hey, what's good,
It's
man? What's
it's weird telling you what's up when we were just talking for like an
I know,
hour.
right? It's all
So
good, man. What's going on, bro?
nothing, man. I just wanted to do something like this, get some practice in, talk to my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like I need more practice with like oral things, especially on YouTube or anything. If I'm trying to take this seriously, so
hmm
it's cool. Like I get practice like this. I get footage. I talk to my friends, and they get to talk about themselves and share some gaming knowledge.
yeah, no doubt, man. Anything to support my friends. You know what I mean? You know how I am. You know,
Yeah,
it's good.
bro.
I like to see that you're doing positive things and trying to grow your brand, trying to grow your channel. That's what's up, man. We need more real gamers, real people in the gaming community that don't have any agendas. And what I like about you is that your passion is not your passion is guided only the only thing that your passion is guided by your love of gaming.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not no you know um it's not no other agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some people they do it for other reasons and they just use the gaming as the vehicle to get to the things that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's to be famous or some people you got want to be former people that probably couldn't be a rapper or some stupid shit. Excuse my language. I don't want to demonetize the channel.
That's all right.
you got you got
I,
people
I,
that
I got it monetized. It's okay, bro.
yeah. Nah, I said you got people that you got some YouTubers out there that they're either want to be celebrities and don't know how to be celebrities any other way, or try to be a celebrity and couldn't make it, so they see this as a venue to do something or try to make themselves more than what they are, or just people that look at things as a way to make money, and they're just using gaming. They're not really about the gaming. They just use the gaming as a vehicle to make the profit. You know what I'm saying? I think that yeah. So I think I knew. Yeah, it's like taking advantage of it. I know you for a long time, many years, and I know that you always been gaming centric first. And this is just like it sounds cliche, but you really are doing what you enjoy, and you're using this platform to talk about things that you enjoy. And if any other blessings come out of this from it, then it's well deserved. It's like people like more people like you. You know, people like you deserve success and stuff like this.
Yeah, man.
So
That's why even I created for fog. You know, I mean,
yeah,
when I say created, I don't want to feel like I don't want people to think I'm saying I took that. I never take the credit for fog on my own, but
but people don't.
I came up with the name.
Yeah,
But
but
I
people don't.
definitely that didn't help me. I mean, I didn't do that without anyone's help. You know.
Right. People don't realize. Like I know, like me, like I was there in the beginning, but to me, people that don't know or wasn't there back then, they look at it like a Facebook group. To me, the way I looked at it, it was just a bunch of a group of friends that used to play together, and then it turned into a group, and and they had a huge following and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like again, it's another manifestation of your view of gaming and your passion and your views of how gaming should be and what it is. You're creating a group and a community that share those ideals, and that's always a positive thing because you need more people that is about the games. You know what I'm saying? And just about gaming in general and the gaming culture, and not about the BS, the console wars, the preferences, things like that, because people lose track of what the gaming is about. And it's like it's about enjoyment, it's about entertainment, it's about like escapism. You can escape your problems for about a good 8 hours, or even if you can escape your problems for about an hour a day, just to keep your mind off of the real world for a little bit. That's a great escape that you could do with gaming that you can't get in any other genre of entertainment. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like it's like just a calming experience, you know. Even though some games can be frustrating, but to me, it's just a something just to chill and ease my mind
Yeah, but you know, is it?
to be
It, it
calm. I did get sucked up into that whole negativity thing, you know. And I was like, oh my god, like
oh, me
I
too,
can't.
man.
I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. I said, why? I was never like this before. Why did I let this sway me into being toxic like that? So I was
I
like,
mean,
I just want to end this.
yeah,
Just
I mean, don't get it twisted. It is fun, you know, like
yeah,
making fun of certain fanboys and stuff like that. But you know, don't forget what it is at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because a good game is a good game, whatever platform it's gonna be on. You know, it's like it's kind of messed up that people let there's people out there that really think that the fanboy stuff is representative of the fan base in gaming in general, and it's really not. It's just a small section of the culture. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
And and it's not really like real gamers. We don't even look at it like a relevant part of the culture. It's just a small part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So what do you want to talk about, man? What's up?
Just man, I guess just I guess like a little interview.
Yeah, no problem,
Just
man.
yeah. Let me see. Where can I start? Are you still continuing to do your YouTube channel or not?
Yes and no. Um, I'm gonna get back into it. The only problem is that I'm, you know, aside from this YouTube thing, I was having, you know, I do have a career in network engineering and stuff like that. So I was kind of like pursuing that real hard, and I was getting into it really good, really, you know, really strong. But right around the time when the channel started getting hot, um, I ended up getting a job in network engineering. So then I had to focus on that 100. You know how that goes. You gotta secure the bag. You gotta go on that 150%. So once I'm kind of like holding it for a little while until I get my feet settled on the new job that I have,
Yeah,
and then once I get my feet settled where I know I can do the job with my eyes closed, type thing, then I can get back into the YouTube thing. But I'm gonna like you know, I'm definitely don't want to do the console war stuff. You know what I mean? Even though I'm primarily an Xbox guy and a retro gamer,
yeah,
um, I want to kind of get away from that. I mean, there'll be times when I'm gonna express my opinion because I do have my frustrations with a certain fan base, you
yeah,
know. But I'm lately I just been trying to tune out a lot of those specific channels because it's just again, it's a lot of people that do that. They're not about the gaming. They're not about the culture or anything. They're just using that as a vehicle to get to where they gotta go.
yeah,
You know, I want people to come to my channel. They're gonna come to the channel. They're gonna feel comfortable hearing something that you know is not gonna be argumentative or something like that. You know.
toxic. I get you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's like I want the channel to be a reflection of my gaming experience. You know, there's a lot of guys that are like me. You know, grown ass men have responsibilities, and we juggle gaming and within our responsibilities.
yeah,
So, and then sometimes you know there's a niche out there. I mean, you look at the success of Game Pass, and it proves that it exists. There are people out there that are too busy to play um, every damn game that come out. So they want to have like a service that they can have everything and catch up to whatever they're gonna play. You
yeah,
know, so you know, I don't think there's a lot of YouTubers out there from what I've seen that kind of represent that. They either try to come off like they're too smart. They either try to come off like they're smarter than you, which I don't like. If I see a YouTuber that come off like they're smarter than you, I don't watch. Or they're toxic, you know, or they do stuff that everybody else do, like regurgitate news. I don't like that either, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't really like a lot of content creators, guys that do original content and give a little bit of themselves to the audience. If I could be more like that, then that'll be good for the channel.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's one thing I was like, whatever I try to do on YouTube, I never wanted to go for like someone who just repeats gaming news. Like, I mean, I'm not crapping on that niche, people that do that, but I was like me, like I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have I have
there
enough.
is,
I don't have enough charisma for that.
yeah. I mean, there is some gaming news that's worth talking about. Like sometimes you have like a mind blowing thing or earth shattering announcement that affects the culture overall. You know, maybe there's time to talk about it when something like that happens. You know, but for the most part, like people that do it every day, every day, every day, like I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my friend Hebot, one thing that I like about him, his channel, what he does is I call him a content creator, right? I don't he doesn't regurgitate news because he'll talk about something that's in the news, but he's talking about it from his point of view. It's not like he's just like taking a paper and reading the article line for line.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's not a YouTuber. You just fucking want to be, you don't want to. You might as well not do nothing. You might as well just go on Facebook and post a fucking article. If that's what you're gonna fucking do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For real. Oh, we got two
So
viewers. I wonder who they are. Gotta be
I don't
someone I
know.
know.
Probably.
Yo, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Say what's up.
Yeah. So what's up, man? What else? I mean, what you
Yeah,
got
I just
lined up?
wanted to. I mean, obviously, I know you personally pretty much. So just,
Yeah.
and I know you're from New York. Me and you have
Uh,
an age difference. Just want to know, like, when did you start gaming and how was it?
oh my God.
How was it
Uh,
when you started gaming, especially in New York?
Jeez. All right. Damn. You know,
It's been years.
I'm older than you, so
Yeah, yeah. Me,
uh,
see, mine. I named myself Nes&UP because that's all I could relate to.
yeah. Do
That
you
was
want me
all.
to? Do you want me to
Huh?
list the system? Do you want me to list the systems? I mean, it's like a
List the
lot.
system you started with. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
what did you
like
start with?
all right. I put it this way. I cannot share my gaming experience without sharing a little bit of myself
Yeah.
because gaming was a big part of who I am and how I live, and also saved my life, right? In a weird way, right?
You see, this is cool. This is what I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't mind, if this is
No, no, I don't mind it. Come on, I'm an open book, bro. Um, with the gaming, I'll give you an example. I grew up, and I grew up in a homeless in a shelter, right? One of those shelters where they had the I don't even know if they got those today. They're like a hotel shelter where it's not really your apartment, but like homeless people, they give them a hotel, they can live there, whatever, right?
yeah, I
So
definitely know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, so we couldn't really afford a video game system. So one of the first video game systems I had, matter of fact, I think it was too old for the time that it came out. Was they will make video game consoles, but it was all bundled in one. It wasn't like what we saw or what you saw when you started playing NES, where you had a box, a set box, and you put
Hmm.
cartridges in, right? And you could select whatever game you want based on what you put in. They actually had consoles that the game was the console, right? So
Yeah.
I remember we had, I don't know what they call it. We had an excite bike game that was actually the motorcycle, like the handlebars.
Wait, you're talking about it's a little red thing?
I don't even think it was. I don't even think it was red. You
It
connected
was
to the
it was
TV.
literally Excite Bike.
It was an excite bike game, and you hook it up to the TV, and it has the handlebars, right? And you rev it, or you could press a button. I don't remember. I was too young, but basically you're playing the game and you can play it with the handlebars. But that was the only game, and you probably had like different variations of it. So it was like a bootleg of a bootleg. It's
It
like
wasn't really. It
it
wasn't
wasn't a
really.
Nintendo
Like,
Excite Bike, right? It was an
what are you
Excite
talking
Bike,
about? I think I
huh?
had that too. I think
Yeah,
I
it
had
was like
that.
an Excite Bike type game, but it wasn't really a Excite Bike. It was just the handlebars. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So then, let me see what else. From there, we had little stupid video games. Remember, then they had the games, but they had it was like a piece of plastic, but it's like it's like a screen that goes on the back that looks like you're moving the car, but you're not really playing the game. It's just like a
It's this.
track.
This what you talking about? Look, I'm gonna put it on the stream. Something like this.
I had that too. But what I had was not that, right? I had that, but the other thing that I had was like an Excite Bike game. I wish I knew the name of it.
I wish you did too,
Um,
man. I tried searching
yeah,
it right now while
yeah,
you were
yeah.
talking about it.
Is it so old and bootleg? I don't even know, man. Maybe like Sanford and Son made that shit. I don't even know.
Sanford and okay.
Yeah, but anyway,
But it was
uh,
what like an Excite Bike licensed
yeah.
product.
I don't think it was. Remember, I was real young. Like I said, I was like a toddler, bro. Like when I first played that shit. Then let me see. Fast forward, you know, a little bit of Atari, you know, like Pong, stuff like that. Oh, we had a Pong machine also. That was like a Pong. Yeah, it was a game, right? Now imagine, right? They had like, you got cartridges. You had like a Pong game, but it was the system was Pong. The system was Pong. That's it. And you had different versions of ping pong, right? But here's the thing. Check it
Connected
out.
to the TV.
You connect it to the TV. Yeah. But here's the thing. Some cats might hear this and be like, wow, that motherfucker old. It's not that I was old. It was that we were so broke that one was available to us.
Don't
You
tell
see what
me
I'm
it's
saying?
this. It's a Pong game console
It's a Pong. Yeah. It's like, basically you have like Pong.
like this.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you see, I think it's probably the one in the middle next to the.
This one.
I think it was that one or the one. Yeah, that one, and then the one behind it, the one next to it, the $359 one.
Okay.
They had that too. But remember, you got to remember too. They had Pong was such a successful game that they had a whole bunch of other versions of it. Like a whole bunch of bootleggers was making different types of copycat consoles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on one second. How about now? Red Claws, my mic okay? I'm just speaking low because I'm really next to my mic and I'm in like in the corner in the room. All right, go ahead, continue, bro. My bad. Just some say my mic is low.
Yeah. So that was one of the consoles that I did that we had back then. And then let me see. Fast forward a
And
few
that game,
years.
let's say that gaming experience, it had no high score or anything, right?
Well, they had a high score. You had to just beat your brother. Like it'd be like 1-1, 2-1, 1-2.
Oh,
It
okay.
was kind of like the first Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
That you challenge yourself. But again, I kind of used those games was helpful for me in my youth because it helped me escape the problems that was going on in the house.
Okay.
Like you forget about poverty and all that other stuff because you can immerse yourself in this game at least for a little while. But then let's see. Fast forward years later, uh, we finally moved to Harlem, and this is like Harlem in the '80s, right during the crack era. So it was like really really bad. I ended up going to uh, it's a program called Fresh Air Fund, right?
Uh huh.
And Fresh Air Fund is a program where what they do is they get uh not being racial none, but they get some basically they get people from the inner cities on like
Uh
real
huh.
poor communities, and they'll link them up with um well-to-do people families,
That's why it's
And
called fresh air.
fresh air, because what they do is they take you out of the ghetto and they'll put you in the suburbs for the
Okay.
summer. But they'll put you in with a family, right? Like they'll get maybe like a white family, they got a lot of money, or a black family, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
they got the resources to raise somebody where it's not a problem. So they'll have someone from the inner city experience what life is like, having a decent life, at least for the summer, right?
Yeah.
So this family was well off. So, back then, So then that's when I discovered the Atari 2600, right? And then we had the Atari 2600. I swear to God, bro, I'll spend the whole summer just playing that shit, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a game called Adventure. That game made me a gamer. Like I knew I that was the first game that I ever played.
That's it,
That
right?
Yeah, it was that, but the game was called Adventure, right?
Adventure.
Adventure. Yeah, that was one of that. That was actually the first. I could be wrong, but it was probably the first real actual adventure game, like before Zelda.
What?
Like it was
Really?
the Yeah, because before that game, everything was a bunch of like like Pong basically, or fucking airplanes or racing cars, right? It was the first game that was
Oh my
actual an
God! Look at
adventure
it.
game, right? It was the first game. It was the first game that was actually. Matter of fact, that was the first game that was actually an adventure game. Try to find the box art if you get a chance. The box art was cool. That was the first game that there you go. That was the first game that was actually an adventure game, kind of like Zelda. Think of it like Zelda before Zelda,
Yeah.
right? Where you had to go into a castle, you had to fight a dragon, you had to collect a certain keys to get to certain rooms. So that game opened my mind up to what gaming could be, right? I never played a game like that ever again until the NES came out, right? So then
Uh huh.
when the NES came out, no game could catch up to that type of game until the NES came out, because the NES basically it kind of had that concept, but they cleaned up the graphics. It kind of made it look like, wow, this is something that I really want to play. Because if you look at the game, you really had to use your imagination, right? It looked like a bunch of boxes, right? But I could tell you what, like you, to this day, I think if you was to play that game today, you would enjoy it.
Adventure.
Adventure. A matter of fact, they mentioned it in the movie. Um, what was that movie? Ready Player One.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie yet. You know
That
that?
they mentioned that game in the movie, and it was also the first game that had a cheat code.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
one
what
of
did
the
the cheat
first
code
games.
do?
I never did it because I was never that nice. But there was a cheat code where you could do a code. You play a certain game and you complete a bunch of objectives, and you get the name of the creator of the game
Yeah.
shows up on the screen. And like
Wow, that
just
was a
the
cheat code.
yeah, that back then
Pretty cool,
that was
right?
like a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what else? Then all right. So fast forward. There was a few other games, like Tank Battle, but it was that game was the first game that held that stuck to me. That made me think, hey, you know what? Like I'm a gamer. Like I like gaming. You know,
Yeah.
I like video games. Period. It solidified that I like it. Then I haven't seen another game that gives me that experience until the NES came out. Then was Zelda. Legend of Zelda was probably the game that was closest to that experience, that gave me that experience again.
The first Zelda. Okay.
Yeah, like first Legend of Zelda. I think a Legend of Zelda, not for nothing, like the over the top games. Like it reminds me a lot of the inspiration from that game, from like Adventure, because it's that top down role playing game. You know,
Yeah.
Fantasy Star, those type of games. Then they had
Adventure is like the grandfather of all those games.
right. It was the first game that you could be like, hey, you know what? There's an objective that I have to do, and I have to complete it. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a kind of like a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, I
Where
get you. Instead of like a score-based game where you're just competing for score, like Pong, like you got 20
right,
points, I got 10 points. That was the
right.
first game like that?
That was the first game that, well, again, that I experienced, right? Because I'm not
That
a
you experienced,
historian
of
like that.
course.
That had a middle, beginning, middle, and end, and it was like a real objective. Like, wow, I gotta get this. Like, it was the first game where you could be like, hey, there's a dragon, right? How do I beat this dragon? It was like a Metroidvania kind of, right? Because you had a dragon, and then you'd be like, wow, how do I beat this dragon? Well, I need to get a sword. How do I get the sword? I gotta go search the castle to get a weapon to beat this type of dragon. Where that wasn't even a thing back then, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that game was so groundbreaking because that wasn't even thought of. You gotta understand that that wasn't even a thing that was thought of. It was like basically, you do a couple of the old games, you do a couple of levels, of course, and then it starts all over again from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So this game actually was the first game that I played that you actually had to put thought. Not only that, there was different types of dragons. You had a red dragon, green dragons, you know, dragons that chase you all over the map, all over the castle, you know. So it was a very unique game. You could play it right now. You could play it today on any web browser if people have the guts to play that game. I mean, I think they remastered the game a couple years ago, like cleaned up the graphics, make it look a little more modern. They cleaned up the game, but anyway, I'm going back and forth. After
It's all
that, it
good, man.
was yeah. After that was like Zelda, Legend of Zelda, because it gave me that experience again plus more, right? Because this time there was a princess, Gollum. They actually had names, the characters and stuff. So you kind of got sucked into that, and it had more secrets, more stuff. So it kind of like expanded on that idea, you know. But there's one game that I said I love this genre, and I'm gonna be a gamer out of all the games.
Which one was that?
You won't believe it. It's well, it was Batman for the NES.
Batman,
For
okay.
remember
The
Batman for
one that
the
inspired Cyber Shadow a little bit?
yeah, remember Batman Sunsoft. They made
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
for the NES. That game when that soundtrack, the music of the first level hit that game. I don't know what it is. Once you hear the song on the first level, you're sucked into that game. And I don't know what it was. It was just that game to me, just to this day, that game sucks me in like no other. Like I could play that game today in 2021, and I feel like it's a brand new game, bro.
It aged well, right?
It aged well. It's great. It's like freaking Ninja Gaiden, Batman together, kind of right. And it aged very well. That game was the first game that I fell in love with that I played over and over and over. And Mike Tyson Punch Out, right? I
Yeah.
remember I remember, yeah, that game was incredible, man. That game is, forget it, phenomenal game. Because you know what it is, like, again, to me, the best games they capture you in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't got me in the first 15 minutes, I'm already bored with the game. You know, that game grabs you automatically. So it was like that game. Then damn, there was a lot of NES games. I remember Rygar was good. Um, the NES version of Rygar was good.
Rygar was dope.
Yeah,
Remember,
Rygar was dope.
it's Bithead, right? The
Hmm.
YouTuber Bithead. He said Rygar was the first
That was the
Metroidvania.
first Metroidvania.
Yeah,
They should call it Rygar Mania
Rygar Mania.
because that was the first Metroidvania. You're right, and it don't
Yeah, I didn't know that
right, right.
till
Yeah,
you
that
mentioned
game was crazy.
yeah,
Um,
Rygar.
and they had a PlayStation version. Remember?
Yeah, I love that one. I
I
remember
never
playing on
played that one.
PlayStation 2, you mean?
What happened?
For PS2?
I think it was PS2. There's two
Yeah.
game. Yeah, there's two games that I always wanted to play that I have not played to this day, and that was Rygar. That I regret not playing. Rygar for PS2, and there was you remember there was a game called what's the game? It was a game for the damn, what's the name of the game? All right, you remember Ghosts and Goblins?
Yeah.
They made a 3D game of that, right? You remember that?
No, and they called it Ghosts and Goblins like 3D.
No, 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 no. It was Maximo.
Oh, Maximo? I didn't know
Maximo.
that. Yeah, I know
Maximo.
Maximo. That was on PS2.
Yeah, Maximo was another game that I want to play to this day that I never got a chance to play.
You never got to play it. That game,
No.
what I remember for that game was it's really difficult, right?
Yeah. Well, it kind of had to be, right? Because it was kind of in the, it was kind of, what you call it? I guess a kind of a spiritual successor to the Ghosts and Goblins series. I mean,
Yeah.
um, it's a little one of those games, but you know what? The good thing is, I got the Series X, and one of these days I'm gonna set it up on dev mode, and I can play those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll be able to play those games. That'll be cool. But that game was awesome. Freaking man, um, there were a couple arcade games too. I kind of like left out a couple of arcade games.
Did you
Bro,
see how they are? Hold on, let me mute this YouTube. How
yeah.
they are. I'm gonna show you this right now. How they're doing the Ghosts and Goblins remake is coming out. I think next month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at it.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. I heard about it, but I was reading about it, but then I heard some fanboys bitching about it, so it
What did
kind
they
of
call
turned
it
me
up
off.
now?
Dad, why they even gonna bother making this game? You know, why they even gonna bother making this game? Then just stupid shit. You know, like it's a waste of tech that basically like they should have made it more modern. Like you know,
Oh
they
man,
didn't
that's
think that the
crazy.
game. They didn't
I
think that
thought
the
that was this game.
yeah they didn't think that the game should look like that. They wanted like more of an original sequel and with better graphics. You know,
Yeah.
and that's only on the
No.
Switch, right?
Is this exclusive to the Switch as well?
I believe it is. Probably Switch. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Switch and maybe one of the Sony consoles or something. Or, but I think it's only Switch. Yeah,
Ghosts and Goblins. Okay.
I'll get it. You know,
Yeah, man. It looks to me. It looks dope as hell.
it looks really good. I mean, matter of fact, I think it's already out, right?
It comes out next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Somebody had
Yeah.
asked me on one of my videos. He mentioned like,
Mm.
"Hey, I see you like 2D games. Did you? Are you excited for? Are you excited for that game? I didn't even know they were making it until about 3 days ago. I looked it up.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, nice.
I think I heard about it on one of the. I think it was one of those award shows or something like that. Or one of these gaming shows. I mean, it looks good. I mean, I'll definitely try that out. You know. Oh, yo, shout out to what you call it, Robocop, the arcade game.
Why is that? I never played that one.
That
Robocop the
game was
arcade. Is
fire,
that
bro.
a shooting one with a gun?
Yeah, yeah, man. That shit was
Yeah, I think I
dope.
did play that.
Robocop, the arcade game by Data East. Then don't even get me started on the Sega Genesis. Then that's when that was another thing because I remember the Nintendo back then was so popular, right?
Yeah.
That what we did was we would actually charge kids to come to our house and play the games.
Oh my god, what would you charge them?
Like man, it'd be like a freaking quarter or $1, and they could just play as long as they want. You know, so my mother would like make a hustle out of the fucking system. So she made that money back 10 times. You know what I mean? So that was one thing with that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
And I remember,
you had like a little home
yeah,
birthday.
man, freaking I also remember when I got the Sega Genesis, and it was funny. The system that I liked the most was the system that I didn't want, right? Because I never wanted the NES. What happened was my my brother, my brother was a freaking he was a hood rat. He stole it.
I heard.
He stole he stole the console off the back of a truck.
One second, just keep talking. I'm gonna mute myself real quick
Yeah,
and just listen to our video, the live stream, to make sure everything's good. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. What he did was he stole the he stole the system out of the back of a truck. So when then all of a sudden he had told me because I always wanted a TurboGrafx 16. I didn't want the uh the Sega Genesis. So he had stopped by. He was like, "Hey, look, um, I got the system I got the video game you want. I got the system you wanted. You know,
Huh.
I got the system that you want the most. Blah 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 blah." And I'm like so happy because I'm thinking I got the TurboGrafx 16 because the only game I ever wanted to play was Legendary Axe, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was so happy, and then he gave me the fucking Genesis with Alter Beast and Last Battle.
What?
He stole it off the back of a truck. So I was like
Wow, it's
disappointed.
back of the truck.
He stole it off the back of a truck. There was a store called the Wiz back in the days.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
Yeah, but
You
you
know,
made it
he,
seem like nobody knows about that anymore. Like there was a
well,
store.
New Yorkers know about it. You probably got
Oh, there was
somebody
a
from
New
out.
York thing on it? No way.
Yeah, the Wiz was a New York thing, bro. That was like that's as New York as the fucking Knicks, my nigga.
No way. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
you got people from Albuquerque, New Mexico that probably don't even know what the Wiz is, man. Yeah, the Wiz is a New York thing, bro. Just like Crazy Eddie, right? So that was the he stole it from a Wiz truck, and but I thought I wasn't gonna like the game until I played the game, and then the first game I beat was I beat Last Battle. I wasn't too impressed with Alter Beast, to be honest with you,
Oh man,
but
that's crazy, bro.
yeah, now Alter Beast, I don't know. I think it gets more praise than it deserves, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's one of those games that it's like I think people remember it more for like like the lines in the game, rise from your grave and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. I think people remember it more for that. But the game, you really think about it, is not to me. It's not all that.
I think it's a better arcade game than it is for home. You know what I mean?
The arcade game was dope. Remember they got the eye and everything. Remember when you put when the arcade mode they got that version where like you see the eyeball on the screen, so it looked like the game is looking at you while you
Yeah.
walking in the arcade. That shit was fire. You know, um, that game was dope on the arcade, but on the Sega Genesis, it wasn't that crazy. And
It was
that's
downgraded.
yeah, it's a missed opportunity because I think not for nothing though, they could have made a series of that game. Like I think that's a game they could have made a part three because they did make a part two. Well, not a part two. They made like a remake, right? They were doing a remake for the PlayStation, but I don't think it ever came out. Well, I think it was like really bad. Then but the game, let me see. My Genesis games was let me see. I liked Last Battle. Mystic Defender was one of my favorite Genesis games. I don't know if you knew about that game. Have you seen that one before?
Mystic Defender. Not by
Yeah,
name. Look it up.
yeah. Mystic Defender. Um, Thruxton.
Okay, Truxton.
Thruxton was dope. Freaking Thunder Force.
Mystic Defender. You've told me about this game before.
What? Mystic Defender.
Yeah, Mystic Defender. Yeah.
Ah man, that game was so dope, man. That game was fire for the Genesis, and I think it's worth a lot of money now. I mean, like I'm probably like buying it online, but that game was so good, man.
Like Neo
Um,
in box and everything.
what happened?
Neo in box or just any kind of version.
Oh, that I don't know. I mean, I wonder how much that. Check on eBay.
Uncensored version. What?
Yeah, there was a version that
1750, but that's
ah
just
yeah,
cartridge.
it's una porquería. That's $17. Jesus Christ, get that
Mystic
game.
Defender 20, 14.
Yeah, get that game. Try to put brand new condition. Oh, Mystic Fighter, I had that game. You gotta put like try to put new condition. See what they want for that game. I think you gotta put Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
Yeah, but you gotta put the condition new, like not. See, right now you got best match, so it's gonna find anything with Mystic Defender. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got you. I got you.
No, no, no. Condition.
Oh,
Go
I
to
got you.
the yeah.
New.
Put new, and
I'm
you
gonna
and
need
you
it.
misspelled Genesis.
Did I?
Yeah. Let me see.
No.
Oh no, no, no. You spelled it right. Now you put cartridge. But I mean, buy now.
Where's the buy now option? Oh, I see. I see. I'm not an eBayer. No, they don't have it. I guess no
Oh
one's
no.
selling it.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
they
not.
have
Look,
the one.
mira. The
Right.
sec. Yeah, that one's $165. Jesus Christ. But I think you could probably. I think it's easier to find the American one
Yeah.
because a lot of people didn't really play the game. It wasn't a popular game, you know. But Mr. Defender was good. Then they had like man, so many freaking games in that system. I think like all the shooters were good. I remember Musha. I played that game. That game was good. Um, Strider was those games were mind blowing, bro. Midnight Resistance. I don't know. You play that joint. That joint was like a
Oh,
Contra.
yeah. I tried it
Yeah,
on emulator.
yeah.
Yep.
Midnight Resistance was good. The whole Thunder Force series was good. Shadow Dancer, Madden. At that time, Madden '93 was life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, then I think like towards the end, I think when they got popular, they started making like
The
I
more
don't
basic
know.
games.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like some of the games right towards the end was a little bit like gimmick type games.
Hmm.
Like what's that stupid game? They had a game where like the dude was a mummy. Um,
Not Decap Attack, right?
yeah, I never liked Decap Attack. You know, I thought Decap Attack was a bit of a gimmick. Yo, Quackshot? That game was freaking
My mic is kind of low. How
yeah,
about
your
now?
mic sounds
Is that,
kind of low.
is that I'm talking low? That's why.
Oh,
How about now?
I can hear you. It just sounds like you're far away a little bit.
Decap Attack, Aerial
Decap Attack.
Acrobat.
Yeah, Arrow the
I
Acrobat.
like
No,
Aerial Acrobat.
no Quackshot, bro. Quackshot was dope.
Quackshot, Quackshot.
Quackshot with Donald Duck.
Oh, okay.
That game was dope. That's another game. I don't know. Like nobody talk about that. Nobody talk about that game on Genesis. Like that was another good game. And that Quack Attack was good. Quackshot. That's the one.
This was my first console, the Genesis.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
remember my father bought it for me. Yeah, I got it with the Incredible Hulk and Miss
Yo,
Pac-Man.
Quackshot was dope, man. Because I always felt like, to me personally, like I'm speaking like from my gaming experience, right? I always
Yeah,
felt Donald Duck was underrepresented in gaming. You know,
yeah.
like they always had the Mickey Mouse games and they had all the other stuff, but I always thought like Donald Duck was misrepresented in gaming. So when you play that game, it was like, bro, that game was dope. It was a Donald Duck game. The animation was good. Everything was good in that game, you know, and it was dope. Um,
Yo, what's up, Jamal? That's
Hey, what's
Raz.
good, man?
How's it going, fellas?
Razzle, what's up, bro? That's it right now. You haven't heard half of those games.
Luckily, I've heard a lot of them because he's been talking to me about them for years. You know.
Well, there's the thing is, right? The thing with gaming, I believe, is like I think like the most enjoyable games that you're gonna have is the games that you experience. Like the first games where like when you're a kid, you enjoy games and your parents buy you, right?
Yeah.
But you get the real enjoyment when you're old enough to pick your own games, because then that's how you start developing your taste in games, right?
Yeah.
And then you get enjoyment more of those games. You start picking out your own games, and you're like, oh wow, you know what? I like this game. Then you start developing your own style and how you like your games or your own genre. You can learn what your favorite genre is. Your options is not limited based on the budget of your mother and father, or if you did good in school or not. You could be like, hey, look, I want this game, you know. And that's the whole thing with the game, like it was crazy. Like even the tech. I mean, I had a 32X. I remember that game that came out. There was an X-Men game that was supposed to come out for the 32X that never
Yeah.
came out, and that game looked fucking incredible. But it's like, unfortunately, Sega fucked up, and they didn't bring out the game the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they didn't bring out the console. The console didn't succeed, so the game never came out. That was one of the games that I wanted to get. Um, Damn. Remember Buster Douglas boxing?
Most, and yep. And I don't remember it, but I know it.
That game was
I can't
dope.
say I remember it and I was playing it as a kid because that'd be a lie. But I know what game it is.
Yeah, Buster Douglas boxing was good, man. You know, Buster Douglas boxing. I skipped the whole PlayStation thing. No, that's one thing I regret. Like if I could do it over again, I probably would have got like the PlayStation One. Like
Yeah.
when I got the PlayStation One, see, Jacob see, he got into RPGs by accident. That's kind of what happened to me earlier with Adventure, right? Like I didn't know Adventure was like an RPG without it being an RPG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of RPG without it being an RPG. And then what was the other joint? Fantasy Star 3, Fantasy Star 2, Fantasy Star 3. I
You know,
think it was, huh?
on Genesis, I never played any. I never played any RPG on my Genesis.
No, really. Wow. They had a lot of
I,
good. They had shine. What is it? Shining? Was it Shining in the Darkness? They had a few good role playing games. I know the Fantasy Star games were pretty good. Three, I didn't like too much. Matter of fact, I couldn't even afford it because that joint was like, I think like $100, bro. It was
wow.
$100 at that time, and it came with like a huge book, and that game was ridiculous. Like I wouldn't have bought that. I mean, that was too much. I'm kind of glad that games are digital now, in a way, because if it would have stayed cartridges, then you would have never like, you know, I think they would have priced themselves out, because the way like the technology was advancing and the graphic was getting better, you actually had to use hardware. Everything was hardware encoded chip by chip, so it costed more to make those games. Um, Remember the Neo Geo? Have you played that?
Neo Geo, I played it. I never owned any Neo Geo console or anything like that.
Right now, who did? Only the drug dealers and the hustlers had them joints, bro. The
The
video
ones that
game,
could afford it.
bro. The system was like
Neo
five hundred
Geo
dollars.
America. What year
Yeah,
was
bro. I don't even remember. Put it this way, I know New Jack City was out.
that? Oh my god.
Freaking the Neo Geo, the system was $500 back then. Okay, back
Yeah.
then the system was $500, and the cartridges were $200 a pop or more. So you get like one cartridge was the price of maybe what, two video games or four video games. So it was crazy. The only good thing that was dope about the Neo Geo You could get like a memory card. So let's say you play in the arcade, you
Yeah.
could put a save point. You could put a save point on the memory card. Take that memory card home, put it on your Neo Geo, and you finished where you played. You could continue the game where you left off in the arcade. So I thought that was dope. If you had the money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, Razzle said Buster Douglas dudes were Diesel. Look at that.
Yeah, man. Buster. Matter of fact, I believe that game, Buster Douglas, was another game, but they just put Buster Douglas on it. There was another. It's based on another game. They put Buster Douglas
Oh,
on it. Right.
like a quick marketing scheme.
Kinda. I mean, the game was fun. You know what I'm saying? It was all right. I liked the Buster Douglas. At the time, cause remember after Mike Tyson Punch Out, if you was a fan of Sega, what can you say? You had like the kids bragging about the Mike Tyson game. Yo, the Nintendo kid got fucking Mike Tyson. What the fuck you got? You got nothing to brag about. So when they came out with the game of the guy that knocked out Mike Tyson,
I have Miss Pac-Man.
who had Miss
When I had a
Pac-Man?
Mike
You?
Tyson game, what you got? I was like, yo, I got Miss Pac-Man and Hulk.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, but back then, like it was like a bragging rights thing, right? Like you'd be like, "Yo, you got Mike Tyson, I got Buster Douglas." Like,
Yeah.
you know
Me
what
and
I'm
my
saying?
friends, we would lend each other our consoles, to trade. Like we didn't have the same consoles, and obviously not the same games. We'd be like, yo, you lend me your Genesis, I'll lend you my Super Nintendo. So, like for
Oh
me,
yeah.
I
See,
don't
but
know.
that back then people were cool. Like they could lend games, and they could come back. You're gonna get them back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you had good friends. Then yo, remember what was it? Blockbuster Video. You could rent the games back then,
Oh yeah, yep.
and that was dope. Like I remember when damn we sound like an old head, but there was a time like yo, like you could go to a store if you couldn't afford the game, you could get the game for like $3, right? Maybe like $5. They'll loan you the game for 3 days or a week. So you rent the game, take it home, play it for 3 days or 4 days or whatever, beat the game, take it back, get another one. So there was a lot of ways to play games.
Yeah, man. That's how I discovered my favorite game. Again, Sky Blazer was
Sky
through a
Blazer was
rental
dope.
shop.
Didn't Sony make that game?
Yep, it was Sony. Yep, Sony Image Soft.
Sony
Like
made that game.
Sony should bring this game back
Yeah, it'd be
somehow.
dope. I I don't know. I think they were like it was Sony with some was it strictly Sony or was Sony and somebody else?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Sky Blazer was dope. What about ActRaiser?
ActRaiser, I never played it.
ActRaiser was good. That was one of the few games that I liked on the Super Nintendo. I liked the ActRaiser, the F Zero, freaking ActRaiser, F Zero, the Zelda Link to the Past, Super Mario World. Um, damn, what was that? There was a game that the cover looks. Them niggas look wild homo, fucking weird ass characters, but it was a fighting game. Um, um, it was like a fighting street or something like that. I forgot what it was. Uh, damn, I'm trying to remember the name of the game. Yo, look up a picture, see if you can find Weapon Lord.
Weapon Lord?
That game was a game that like nobody played, and the game was fire. The game looked dope, man. That was another game that people like. That was another game that was pretty dope. Yeah, Weapon Lord was dope. Damn man, what's the name of the game?
ActRaiser
Um,
1 was a classic, Jacob to Israel said.
yeah, ActRaiser was dope, man. Yeah, you missed out. You ain't play ActRaiser.
Razzle said, "Is this gonna be a weekly show?" I don't know. I'm just trying to practice my talking. I feel like I need that. I need to get some practice in on that. So
Yeah, if you want to make it a you want if you want to make it a weekly show, me and you, we could do that.
yeah,
I don't mind.
but
I
I'm
mean, if
hosting. consistent. That's
Yeah,
my problem.
that's my problem. You know that it's like I don't know what I'm gonna be doing week to week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Damn man, I wish I could remember the name of that game because it's funny, man. The title looks nothing like the game. Look like the box looks nothing like the game. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, remember, yo, Final Fight was to me. I was disappointed when Final Fight came out for the Super Nintendo because it didn't have the two-player co-op.
Oh wow, did it?
No, because the thing is, the cartridge it just couldn't handle it because the sprites was too big. And then they had, I think it had it was one player, and it didn't have guy on the game. So that was the whole thing with that. So yeah, I don't know. You play Final Fight back then?
Back then, I have it. Yeah, I still have the cartridge, but I didn't remember that it was one player.
Yeah,
But
it was one player.
um,
One player, man. One player. The Super NES was a dope system, though, man. I, I think this is the first time on record that I'm actually admitting that the Super Nintendo was a good console.
oh man, I
Yeah,
love
that.
Nintendo. My
Yeah,
brother, his console was more like the Super. I mean, everything was ours since we lived
right.
together, but Super Nintendo was more his when we got one. I think he was old enough to work. He had like a part-time job. He had his working papers, so that was
Yeah.
the first thing he bought. So then I have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope when you get your own job and you get your own stuff, man. Um, by the way, I'm still looking right now. I'm talking to you, and I'm looking for the name of that game. Brawler. I think it's a brawler
So let's jump to this next one. Like, so with what you're saying, what's your favorite console? Is it the Genesis?
of all time.
Yeah,
Wow. Damn, man. I don't. I will. I mean, I'm biased towards the Genesis. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bit biased to the Genesis because you know what it is. The Sega Genesis had a little bit of everything for everybody. I think I would get the Genesis, then the Dreamcast.
I like
eh,
Dreamcast.
Yeah, the Genesis and the Dreamcast.
What's my favorite one?
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
then
even.
you
What's my favorite console?
and mind you, yo, the Saturn was a good system, but it depends, right? If you own the Saturn in the United States, the system sucked. But if you were one of the few people that were lucky enough to import Saturn games, you really enjoyed the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because in the United States, it really wasn't. It was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole thing about it with the Saturn. I would have put the Saturn. I probably would have put the Saturn up there. It's just that you know it just sucked in the U.S. Like they just didn't have a good selection for U.S. games. You know, so that's the only thing with the Saturn. So what
when I
happened?
when I ask you what's your favorite console, like I don't mean your favorite retro console. Like I mean like literally like anything like
Period. Point
now,
blank. Period.
point blank period. Yeah, like
I'll
I know
tell.
it's a lot on retro, but I don't only play retro games. You know,
Yeah, I know.
love
All
retro
right, all right. Point blank. Period. Point blank. Period. I do like the Genesis, the Sega
the
Genesis.
Genesis.
Yeah, that was my favorite system. Then I mean, that's it. That's it. As far as like modern consoles, I liked the OG Xbox was dope.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the OG Xbox was good. What happened?
Especially as a Sega fan, right? The OG Xbox being
Yeah, well, um, sh- somebody in the comments he said Dreamcast. Dreamcast. Yeah, I was gonna say Dreamcast, but then the question was like the absolute favorite. You know what I'm saying? Dreamcast was dope, man. But yeah, I liked the Xbox only because the um the Dreamcast gave me my taste of the online, but the Xbox did it like just right. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that was the whole thing with the Xbox. But the Dreamcast was fire, man. Like I don't think there's a game that was bad on that system.
Blue Stinger.
Yeah, but but this is the thing, right? For people that don't like Blue Stinger, you'll find a lot of people that will actually like the game. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to say that it was total trash because I mean um you know it had its it had its it had its good games, you know. There was another, Making X. That game was dope on the Dreamcast. You remember that game?
Making X. I
Making
know.
X, huh?
I know it. I never played it at that time.
That game was dope.
On an emulator.
Yeah, that was a real good Dreamcast game.
But Jacob Taser asked, the game you're talking about, was it a fighting game on NES?
Making X, he's talking about?
No, the other game,
Which one?
a
Oh,
fighting
the
game.
one that I'm looking for the title
Yeah.
for the cover art. No, it was a Super Nintendo brawler. But the game, the cover of the game don't look nothing like the game. Like the two characters, they damn. I think it was Tough Enough. I think it was a Rival Street something. Oh man, damn man, that you got me looking for this game right now on YouTube. Oh, Rival Turf,
Rival Turf. Okay.
Rival Turf. Look at the box art first, right? And this game was dope. It was a fun game, but if you looked at the cover, if
Rush
you if
Beat too.
huh,
I guess it had two names.
right, if you went to the store, right? This is why I get mad with the U.S. marketing. If you went to the store and you see the cover right there, you're not gonna buy the game. You so you're not gonna buy the game.
The game looks dope though. The game
The
itself.
game, no, the game looks dope. The game was fun, right?
Brawl
But
Brothers.
the Brawl Brothers. But if you look at that Rival Turf, like if you look at that cover, I'm pretty sure like the game did not sell because of the cover.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit look like two. I can't say because you're on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It looked funny style. You know. So that's the whole thing. What was your favorite console?
I don't know, man. It's probably PS1 or honestly the console I did the most gaming on was probably the 360. Like it had a bunch of retro games. It had a bunch of good uh modern games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had Mass Effect. That was one of the that's what makes when I think about what's my favorite console, the first thing that comes up to my head is Mass Effect. And I just have to associate that with 360 because that's where I played it.
Oh, okay. That yeah, but Master. See, I missed out on the whole Mass Effect thing because I
Well,
was
you can
already.
get it coming out remade, right?
Yeah, you're right. I was already in college. You know, so it's like when that came out, I was like, nah. Oh, yo, Comic Zone was dope on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, Comic Zone, yeah.
Comic Zone was dope. Postman, that game was cool. Gunstar Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes is good. Yeah.
The what was the other joint? You remember Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park, yep.
Those games were dope on the
Known
Sega
as like one
Genesis.
of the most difficult games.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Earthworm Jim was good. You know, I mean, Genesis has some trash ass games too. Like, I don't want to sit here and act like the console was all that.
You know what game I think is trash? I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna get hurt.
What game?
Toe Jam and Earl. I don't know. I can't stand that game, bro.
I'm not crazy about Toe Jam at all. But but the thing is, I think I don't think they're gonna admit this, but I
You
think
should be
Toe Jam
smoking
and
when you play that. That's what you
I
mean.
think Toe Jam and Earl was a game that was made to be played while you high.
Or while you're puffing the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, like you smoking herb, you're sitting on the couch, you don't got shit to talk about, and you just walking around with the
Zoning out.
character. Yeah,
I can,
that's
you know what? Now that you say that, I can see it. Like the music is all funky, and you're just listening to the tunes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah,
like a
that
laid back game.
that's what I think. That's what I think the game is because um, if you look at the game, especially I remember I think me and you was playing it a while back. We was trying to play the game, and I mean, it was kind of better now a little bit because it has the online. But still, to this day, like the game, you could tell, like it's one of those games. You're just eating munchies and you're killing time and you're just trying to collect things because it's like a collecting game.
Yeah.
And what kind of game will put? It got to be something that you're gonna play when you're high. Because look at the fact, if you walk the wrong way, you could fall off the map, but you don't die. You're gonna go to a lower level of the map,
Oh my god.
right? You're gonna go to another map, then you got to find an elevator to go back up to where you was at before. And they had a lot of trippy stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. I mean, maybe if I was a drug addict, I would probably like the game more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was all right, but it wasn't all that. I think that was what it was. I think that was the market that they was going for. You know, and also the reason I think that when the game came out, look at the rap groups that were like popular back then, right? Cypress Hill, um, Cypress Hill, the the alcoholics, the lunatics. You know,
Okay.
what's that song? I got five on it.
The Loonies.
The Loonies.
Yeah.
So around that time, that was people was doing. You know what I'm saying? So you know
That's a cool
that
thing to do.
yeah, but they did have some trash ass games though. They did really have trash ass games. Like Fatal Fury was trash on Genesis. That game was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Strider Part Two was bad,
You know, a
right?
game that everyone always shits on, and I don't know why. Is the Double Dragon on Genesis, the Rosetta Stone? I like that game.
Yeah, but come on, the game was kind of trash. It was broken, bro.
It's. I mean, right now when I go back to it, I can see how it was trash. But let's
Yeah,
say you're a kid and your parents buy you that game. I guess I'm just associating it with that.
dude. You know what game? There was a game that was so trash on Genesis, and I liked it a lot. Because it was called Techno Cop.
Techno Cop. Let me see. That sounds familiar.
The reason I like the Techno Cop because back then that was one of the first games before Mortal Kombat that you could blow a nigga's brains out and his brains be on the floor, and you could kill people.
Oh my god, I know this game.
That was one of the first games that you could actually like really kill somebody in the game.
I remember there was a gory game on Genesis too. It was called Doom Troopers. You know that?
Doom Troopers. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
Doom
remember
Troopers.
that. Yeah,
It
yeah,
had
yeah.
gore.
What about Doom Troopers? What was the other thing? Two crew dudes.
Oh,
You
Two
play that
Crew
game?
Dudes. Yeah,
Because if you like Double Dragon 3, you had to like that game.
yeah, yeah. Like the Double Dragon 3 of it.
Um, I'm going a little too fast, but make sure you check out Robocop versus Terminator. That's a game that nobody talk about.
I wasn't a big fan of that game. I think he's talking about Double Dragon 3 Rosetta Stone.
Yeah,
RoboCop versus Terminator.
Robocop versus Terminator was dope on Genesis. That game was fire, and nobody. And again, that's another game I don't see nobody really talking about.
Sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
Robocop versus Terminator was dope. That's one of my favorite Genesis games, actually.
Okay.
I don't have a favorite. I don't really have a favorite Genesis game.
what about a favorite game? I mean, that's
Nah.
probably a hard question to answer, honestly.
Yeah, that's a hard question to answer because I mean it go back to probably that Batman game
To Batman, okay.
on NES because that to me that's the game that started it all. Like if it wasn't for that Batman game, I wouldn't have keep buying games. You know.
Yeah.
You know another game that was all right, but there was a the first level is so trash that nobody plays through the whole game to enjoy the game. Right? There's a game like that, and that's Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Yeah,
I never played that one. I know it.
Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants. That game right there is a good game, but the first level is so trash.
The box art is cool, man.
Yeah, the first level is so trash that nobody gives it a chance. Like nobody plays through the whole game. It's just the first level. The controls is bad. The level design is bad. They don't give you no instructions on what you're supposed to do on the game. Like they don't let you figure out what your abilities are. Nothing,
Oh
right?
man.
But if you do have the discipline to play through the first level, no, you're looking at the Master System version. That's the worst version to look at. You got to look at the
Oh
NES
yeah,
version.
yeah. I think they made that Double Dragon game. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, it was on the NES. I played it on the Nintendo, but
I need
that's
to
a
place a
yeah. It first originally came out on the Nintendo, but that game right there, yo, that game. If you could get past the first level, you enjoy the game. But it's hard. It's rare. I have really rarely met anybody that played the first level of that game, you know, and played it all the way through because it's like it's hard. It's a hard game, you know.
Oh man, I remember this.
Remember that shit?
Another Simpsons game too was
Well, first of all, I'm not
on
saying the
NES.
game. All right, the game is not like super dope. Like, it's a good game if you get past the trash ass first level. Because I always thought that the Simpsons games, I thought they made them bad on purpose. Because all the other Simpsons games were really bad. He got a good point. Mortal Kombat was bad.
What really? On
Well, the
Super
first
Nintendo?
one on the Genesis, the only thing that really the Mortal Kombat had going for it was the blood. If you that's it. The graphics looked better on the Super Nintendo. If you put the Super Nintendo version and the Sega Genesis version side by side, the Super Nintendo version is gonna look better. Yo, we gotta do a part two for this, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. It's getting long.
Yeah, because I gotta
I
I
just
gotta
I
I
just
gotta
want to
feed the
see.
dogs.
I'm gonna show you a game. I guess I'm gonna do this. Show a game
Yeah,
that show you a game I'm excited for. If you have something you wanna, what game you wanna show,
yeah.
game you wanna play.
I'm dying to play the medium.
Nes&UP Hype. What?
I'm dying to play the medium this weekend.
A medium? Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks cool, man. I
I'm
mean, I'm
gonna
not a big fan of those games. Like I like survival horror, but I don't really like. I mean, and I like horror, like the horror genre in movies, games.
see, but I'm more
It was like a
fascinated.
hiding kind of game, like hiding from the enemy.
Yeah. See, but you know what made me want to play the game? I'm fascinated about the tech on the game.
The tech, the
The tech.
dual screen thing.
Yeah, I want to play it for the tech. I want to see how that tech is because it's the fact it's almost it's like two. They're running two games in one, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the fanboys complaining that when it's dual screen is 900p, right?
Oh man, I don't pay attention to
But no, but here's the stupid thing. You bitch about that, but there ain't no other games doing it. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Forget that. I don't even want to acknowledge that side of that fan base. Batman Returns is hot garbage.
hot voodoo.
Oh man, basura. I think the Sega CD version was cool though.
Sega CD. Okay, I never had a Sega CD.
Yeah, Sega CD version was cool.
Let me show you this little game. I think you would like it too. This is why I wanted to show it to you. It's coming out like in a month, maybe. I was
Mm-hmm.
told. I'm not endorsed by this or anything, but this game,
What's
yo, this
this?
game looks dope.
You can't play the music, right? You might get
I
them.
can. I'm not even monetized. I can. And I think the way I'm doing it, we can. Like we're on the. It's like a critique kind of. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can hear the music.
Yeah.
It has a crazy combo
Oh
system.
shit! Co-op 2 player, is it online?
I don't know. I don't know if it's online.
3 playable characters. I feel like I saw this trailer before.
It looks crazy, bro. It looks
Yeah,
insane.
it looks fire. You know what's good about? You know what look cool about that game? That the sprites look like the animation.
Yeah, yep.
Like you know how sometimes you see a game, the animation looks totally different from the character you're controlling.
Yeah.
That game looks like the actual animation. That's dope. That's a dope game. When that come out?
That comes out in about a month or so, I believe. Yep.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Let me know. You
Have
gonna
you
do a
seen
review on it or no?
Cheating?
The what?
Cheating? Have you seen that?
Show me. Yeah, yeah. I seen this trailer. This look cool. Can you play it?
Yeah. Yep. I'm just trying to get a short video. I'm gonna put a 19-minute you know what I mean?
Yeah. Next time if we do a part 2 to this, I'll get some material, some stuff I can show you guys.
Yeah. This is another game I want. This thing's gonna be cool, man.
Mhm.
I like when
Who made
this
this?
generation launched. I like Strider a lot too. Like,
Mhm.
I feel that game is
We need
right
another.
now.
We need another Strider.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Strider was one of my favorite games on the Xbox One, the last generation. To be honest.
Yeah, I forget his last generation now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another game I want. I'm dying to try out.
That's only on the Switch.
No, this is for everything.
Mhm.
PC, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox.
You know, my wife, she criticized me, right? 'Cause she'll be like, "Why you buy these advanced consoles to play old ass games, older looking games?"
uh,
She's a casual.
Beyonce told me something like that before. She's like, "You like old games? Why do you want? Why did you mention the new console?" Oh, you won't understand. But it's not. It's like we don't only play retro
No,
games.
we like to mix it up. Like I'm gonna play the medium this weekend, and
You have a you have a Series X, right?
yeah, yo, I
Are
got
you
turned
playing
off,
that?
man. I found, yeah, I got it. I like it. I love it so far. It's pretty good. Um, I got turned off because I was playing what's that game? Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
But then I found out how long the game is. And like if I was, if I, like you living like in real lifetime, right? Like you got responsibilities and shit. It's too long.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, I would play like those big epic role playing games. You know what I'm saying? like those big epic games that will last a long time. But it's like it just gets harder. Once you get more responsibilities and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, which is cool. But you know, also like I'm starting to enjoy. I enjoy a lot of the single player games, but
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed it has a lot of time, and I think it's like 100 hours plus,
Wow.
some shit like that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it took me like maybe 3 years to beat Assassin's Creed Origins.
Damn, look at that shit.
Probably
That's
gonna take
crazy.
me a year to beat Cyberpunk or more.
How far are you on that? I know you.
Cyberpunk?
I know you was playing that a lot.
Cyberpunk? I'm probably like 60%, I think.
Oh wow. Now you try. Are you a completionist, or you just beat the games?
If it's gonna if it's going to stress me out now. I
Now,
used to like
see,
that.
that's the thing with me, right? If the game is fun, I'm gonna become a completionist no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's really fun, that's how you know you got a really really good game where you feel like inside of you that you want to do everything, you know. But
Yeah.
some games, like if I just want to beat it, I just get it out the way. I'm kind of feeling that way with Jedi Fallen Order,
Okay, say it again about Jedi Fallen Order.
huh?
Fallen Orders. Say
I
it
want
again.
to. I'm feeling that same way about Jedi Fallen Order. Like I'm enjoying it so much that I want to complete the game perfectly.
Yeah, that game is. I like that game a lot. Did you
It's
beat it?
like nah, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna beat it because I want to complete it perfectly.
Yeah.
If we, well, like put it this way, if I really enjoy the game, I'm gonna want to beat it perfectly. I want to play the game till there's nothing left. Right? That's
Yeah.
if I'm really enjoy the game. But and it's like if I don't really enjoy the game that much, like I'll just look at everything like a burden. You know what I mean? I'll probably the most I'll give, I'll just beat the game in one run and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, man, we gotta do a part two to this. So
Yeah, we will, bro. We
maybe next week
definitely
or
will.
something. You know.
I'm gonna. Yep. I'm
And
gonna
this
see you.
time, what I'll do is I'll bring some of my collection, my old games, and I can show them off to the audience,
Oh,
and we
that'll be
could talk
awesome.
about some stuff, and we could talk about some modern games too, because I do play modern games.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
You know.
I have a lot of modern games.
Yeah. But thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man, no problem. I'm glad you decided to say yeah. And obviously, the first people who are gonna watch this are my friends, your friends. So if
Hmm.
anyone is interested and they want to come on, they can. I have this StreamYard thing. It lets me host up to 6 people at the same time with the free service. I haven't upgraded to the premium service for this app yet because I don't want to invest too much money into the YouTube yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Oh, I
Yeah.
also want to open up a video game store, but that
Video game
we'll
store.
we'll talk about that in the second part too.
Yeah.
I got some really really good ideas of what I want to do, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it like a brick and mortar or online. But I am investing. Hello.
Man, yeah, I'm just thinking like brick and mortar, man.
Brick and mortar is tough because you got to pay rent, and then the audience that I want is the hardcore audience. So it's hard, you know. It's. I got some ideas, but I can't talk about it on the air.
I got you.
No, no. But we'll talk about it outside the air.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to be down with that, we can do that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, thank you for having me, man. I don't want to be rude. I just got to get going though.
Yeah, me too, man. I gotta get going. My girl's like, "You're still doing the podcast? I thought you said
Dude,
okay."
my dogs are staring at me like there's some, they want to eat.
Yeah, they're like, "How
Yeah.
about we starve you?"
No, they're looking at me like we're gonna eat you. How about that? So I'll holler at you though. We'll do it next time. Maybe next week. I'm available every weekend. So
Okay, man. I'll definitely let you know.
all right, take
See
care,
who else
brother.
we can get and stuff. And yeah, man. Whoever's still watching up to this time, thank you for watching. And you did like the video, just give me a thumbs up. That'll be cool, and let me know what you think. Any ideas you can give me, I'll accept all that. Any criticism, I don't take criticism in a bad way. You know what I mean? Thanks for watching, man, and thanks to you too, Face. If you're still
All
here.
right. Thank you for having me, bro. Take care.
Yep. Later, bro.
Mm,
Take care.
Later.
Later,
Bye.
guys.